Welcome back, students. Today I want to talk to you about a contemporary artist. That means she's alive today and she makes art today by the name of Jen Stark. Jen Stark uses nature and color as her inspiration to make her highly polychromatic pieces. This is our picture of an artist here from her portfolio website. A portfolio is a collection of her artwork. And when I view this artist's website, observe, students, her use of line and shape to create these artworks that appear like they are moving and big bursts of color. Jen Stark is a master of creating illusion out of color by using repeating line and this flowing shape to create her giant paintings that are cut to scale walls, but also exploring concepts in three-dimensional art. That means it's a sculpture you can walk around, and public art, like a mural, something you would see painted on a wall that anyone can see. You don't have to be able to go to a gallery. So when you view an artist's website, you might see a work like this. Underneath, it'll show you the material or the medium that it's made out of. And this image tells us here that this is power-coated aluminum that is cut in descending shapes, one after slice after slice after slice, so that you're viewing this almost like a vortex tunnel that gets deeper and deeper and deeper as you ascend with your eye inside. Here's a sculpture that's an aluminum LED lights. Can you observe, artists, how her 3D works are much like her paintings? Here's one where she used color and line to create a neon sculpture in light. I find her work beautiful because it uses all of these different colors. I find it interesting because it involves sculpture, and this is something that we don't often get a chance to do in our own art classroom because it's so large, and it's interactive. It's meant to involve the viewer or people in it sometimes, and that's what I like in her public artworks here. So these are examples of things that you would see painted on stores or buildings. Even here at DIS, we've done murals in public art. One of my favorite public artworks that she has is this done on the side of a building. Can you imagine, artists, what this building would look like before the mural? You probably wouldn't pay much attention to it because it would just be a solid white square. But what happens now that the painting is on it? It definitely stands out against the background of everything else that is going on in the city. Definitely breaks it up with lots of color and insight. So art can draw your attention, students, to spaces that you probably wouldn't even notice otherwise unless you were looking at it face to face. So what are we going to do, students? We are going to create our own interactive Jen Stark artwork in class, starting today with a drawing that we will then plug into our computer, and we're going to actually hook it up to our camera with a device called a Makey Makey so that it makes music. Now we're going to start first just with the drawing part today. Don't worry about how it makes a sound yet. You're going to get a square piece of paper, students, write your name, and anywhere on that paper, I want you to draw 4 or 5 dots, 4 or 5. And then I need you to scribble them in and fill them in really dark with your pencil only. This is because in order for the wiring to hook up with our computer, we need a really thick graphite line, and that's the material that's inside your pencil. It's conductive, which means electricity gets attracted to it. So 4 dots, filled in solid, and some real thick lines that must go all the way to the edge of your paper. Now I'm ready for some Jen Stark color, baby. I line my markers up in rainbow order. And then just like Jen Stark, it doesn't matter what color you start with. We know the rainbow goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. But what if I wanted to start with yellow? I turn my marker on its side and color so there's no gaps and some overlaps, a big, thick yellow line. Then what color is next to yellow in the rainbow? If I'm working in order, it's green. So I'll take my green marker, do a little housekeeping. I want to make sure that my lines are touching with no gaps and some overlaps so that I fill my space. So just like our artist, Jen Stark, we are going to make an interactive work of art That means that people can touch it and use it and play with it. And we're also going to use color, just like Jen Stark. Notice how my lines are overlapping and they start to wiggle and wobble. It creates that illusion of movement on my work of art. Now, as I keep filling in rainbow order, you're going to notice that I'm running out of some space. I just keep going, students, until the gaps get closed in. I want to fill in this baby until there's absolutely no white space left on my artwork. Don't worry, I'll go back and get those little holes at the end. So I just keep working my colors in rainbow order, creating those blobs that are almost overlapping. It makes it look like it's moving, students, even though it's still. And I go yellow, green, blue, violet, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, red, orange. That's the same as my rainbow order if I was going red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. It's just a different sequence. That's a pattern. I fill my artwork in until it goes all the way to the edge of my paper, students, and then I'd be ready to turn it in. This is my second example. If you want to see how I did this again in a different way, here I start with red, but I've got those 4 circles filled in, dark lines, and I'm continuing to color in rainbow order as I'm wrapping a force field all around the outside. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And of course, an artist always has to go back and check their work. So I decided right there with my pencil students that I must have not filled it in as completely as I could. So I'm going back and I'm adding more. And that's okay. We want to be very critical. In order for our artwork to actually be interactive and be musical, it's got to be filled in complete or it won't make a sound when we plug it into your Chromebooks. So students, today we are starting with those steps. First, we're taking inspiration from Jen Stark, then putting our name on our paper, adding 4 dots and lines coming off the page, filling them in thick and solid, and then lastly, coloring in rainbow order, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, just like our artist Jen Stark, wrapping and twisting our colors till we're filling in every nook and cranny around our papers. Some of you might work really fast and finish one entirely today, so you could even start a second. And some of you might need a little bit more time, which we can come back in and finish next class as we are adding to our project. So today, students, we're going to begin this assignment, making sure that we're beginning with our paper, following the correct steps. And I'll replay this demonstration tutorial, students, so that you can take inspiration from our artist, Jen Stark. Finally, we'll clean up our supplies and we'll get ready so that we can be in a good position to start our musical assignment of this project next time that we are together. Give it a try, artists. Let's do our best work and good luck.